I'm back. Hopefully you're not tired of me yet. I'm going to talk about dating with intention on these freaking dating apps that everyone's using. The way we're dating and connecting has totally changed. My counselor told me that 70% of people are meeting their partners online instead of through family and friends, which is crazy. According to MarketWatch, the global online dating market is expected to reach 12 billion by next year. So these dating apps have kind of contributed to the hookup culture that we live in now, and people are just really consumed with instant gratification, and that can be dangerous if you're not aware of it. Every time we match with someone, there's a little hit of dopamine that goes off in our brains. It's just like social media. We get a dopamine rush when people like our stuff. Like neuroscientists are finding that it is very addictive. Just like there's drug addicts, there's social media addicts, which is, it's people who can't control how much time they spend online and on these apps. Apparently, Tinder boasts 1.6 billion swipes a day. Most of the apps are based on physical satisfaction, which doesn't really help with that genuine connection that healthy relationships are built on. The way we date is directly linked to the health of our marriages, the health of our families, the health of parenting, and it directly contributes to the well-being of our society and the health of our society as a whole. So in my opinion, expectations for men has definitely lowered. I think as women, we don't expect as much from men, and since we're not expecting as much, they're not going to do as much. It's just funny because like back in our parents' day, it's like men would really try to pursue you, and simple things just like walking you home and making sure you get in the door safe and buying flowers. Simple things like that are very rare to find now. Too many women have settled for the bare minimum, and it's kind of ruining it for the rest of us who have expectations and who want men to pursue us. It's crazy to think that you can swipe on someone, match with someone, go on a date, and like hook up all in one night. Like that's super dangerous. And I think it's sad because a lot of people aren't willing to work on the relationship that they have currently. People just want what's next. What's the next best thing? That instant gratification. It's like, what's the next thing? Like, this is too hard. This is not worth it for me. Like, what can I do to feel that chase again? Don't get me wrong, if it's an unhealthy relationship, it's not worth staying in. Like, definitely break up. If you don't feel at peace, that inner peace, then the relationship probably isn't healthy and it's not worth it for you to be in. But if you've been together for a while and it's something that you feel that you can work out, it really just comes down to your own intuition and your gut feeling. I've pretty much been on all the dating apps at this point. I haven't been on any of the ones you pay for, but like Tinder, Hinge, Bumble, I think there's another one, but I'm not so much worried about finding the one. I think it was helpful for me to connect with people, and I met a lot of cool guys, and I learned about what guys can really be like and what is out there. I was so sheltered in my last relationship that it was like, oh, guys can actually be motivated and dress nice and groom themselves on a daily basis, like take care of themselves, like basic things. So it really opened my eyes up to what I wanted and what I didn't want. These apps can definitely be bad news if you aren't already a solid person and have confidence in yourself. Take it from me, these apps are not a way to escape from yourself. You have to love yourself first, and I know that sounds cheesy, but it's so true. There's no way you can love someone else if you don't love yourself. If you love yourself and are confident and have passion in your life, then you're gonna attract so much better. You're gonna attract what you really want. Also, if you decide to make a profile and get on these apps, rejection is just something that happens. Like for me, I was talking to this guy and he came to visit me twice from like 2 hours away, which was a decent drive. We had a great time together. We really clicked and I thought we got along really well. And then after the last time he visited me, it was like he just ghosted me. And I was like really upset because it was like, well, why wasn't any of this like communicated to me? And I kind of left his intentions in a gray area, and I didn't really ask the big questions right up front as I should have. But rejection is something you're gonna deal with. In my opinion, rejection is God's protection. So think about that, let that sink in. Intentions need to be clear at the beginning. Don't be afraid to ask the big questions because you don't want to waste your time. And most guys like to stay in the gray area because they don't want to commit, or they can get away with more if they're in the gray area and not answering those hard questions that you're asking. And don't just ask about intentions, evaluate based on his actions. What effort is he making on his end? Look for transparency and honesty, and if someone isn't willing to be truthful about their intentions, then they probably aren't someone you wanna hang around with. If he tells you that he isn't looking for a relationship, then he probably isn't looking for a relationship. Don't look to change him. Don't look to change his intentions, because chances of that happening are very low. Most of these men are talking to more than one woman at once, and so I think women should do the same. And I think a lot of women are afraid to do that because they think they're not being loyal or they're being promiscuous. And I'm not saying hook up with all your matches, but I'm saying see what's out there. You can hang out with more than one guy. You don't have to be intimate with him. But why be loyal to someone who's not loyal to you? That doesn't make any sense. So you don't need to feel guilty about talking to more than one guy. Once you become exclusive with someone, then you need to cut off those other ties and be transparent with those other guys that you're now in an exclusive relationship. But until that point, see what's out there. I wouldn't recommend hooking up with matches and random people you meet online because, first of all, STDs. Second of all, when you start having sex with someone, you lose your self-control and you lose your logic. All logic goes out the window and you get distracted. You're really looking for someone who's genuinely going to care about you. And if you just give up the physical part, it really makes it hard to tell if someone genuinely wants to get to know you mentally, emotionally, spiritually. The physical exploration is easy. That is something that happens quick, and it doesn't take as much time as those other areas. Physical exploration takes a lot less dedication. So I like to refer to online dating like fast food, and I think it's a good way to look at it. I'm totally not saying that online dating isn't a good path or an option for people. I think it is a good option for some people. For others, not so much. Online dating is fast and quick and easy, just like fast food, and it can be addictive without any moderation. But if you're not a solid person and grounded in your morals and values, it can lead to situations that you don't want to be in and that you didn't intend for. If you decide to create a profile, make sure that you choose apps where they match you based more on like personality and not so much the physical aspect. That gets the harder questions out of the way. Like for Bumble, for example, they have advanced filters like age, religion, if you want children, what are you looking for with your Bumble matches. And so I think that's a good way to get the big questions out of the way without even having to ask them. It's just already something that they submit. I'm not on there anymore because I'm in this phase where I'm
just kind of doing me.
For me, when I was on there, I would set Christian and they had to be at least 5'9". As shallow as that seems, it's just what I want. Like I want someone who's at least 5'9", because I'm a tall female, and someone who's Christian. So those were the two advanced filters that I used. You're allowed 2 free ones, and I was not about to pay for more filters. Anyway, be intentional in your dating life and don't just go around without intentions, and know your value. Time is a resource that you will never get back. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good week.